These guys worked together, played together, ate together. If any one member of the riveting gang didn't show up for work because of illness or for some other reason, the whole gang didn't go up that day. He said we just didn't substitute people around. There was a great deal of trust involved with handling 800-degree rivets flying through the air. The rivets are heated to their red hot. They are then taken by tongs, and they are literally thrown some distance, sometimes as much as 50 or 60 feet. They are then caught by someone who has a bucket with a conical head, almost like a funnel at the top, so that it gave the catcher, as he used to be called, a little bit more leeway to get these things before they would drop back down to the deck and actually burn through something.
A splattering of fiery particles cascades down from the torches that the steel workers use for cutting 10-ton girders in half and for lighting their cigarettes. There is a good deal of strolling on the thin edge of nothingness. The New York Times.
Week after week, the photographer Louis Hine captured the heart-stopping work in progress in some of the greatest images ever taken of New York.
These are classical heroes in the flesh. Outwardly prosaic, incredibly nonchalant. Crawling, climbing, walking, swinging, swooping on gigantic steel frames. Hairy-chested huskies, strapping youths, clean-limbed and clear-eyed, fusing the iron of their nerves with the steel of the girders they build into modern cities. The London Daily Herald.
They are really wonderful kind of documentations of what seems to me almost a Promethean conquest of nature, of gravity itself, in the way suspended in the sky, you know, very much like Icarus. Challenging the gods, really, are these workers, these iron workers, ordinary iron workers, sitting on these beams, having their lunch, you know, 80 stories above New York. I grew up looking at one particular one of a young bare-chested worker hanging from a guy wire high up on the Empire State Building, which Louis Hine had given to my mother. And it always seemed to capture the magic of New York to me.
All through the summer and fall of 1930, the work went on. By October, the steel frame of the building's 85-story main shaft was complete, and work had begun on the mooring mast. In January 1931, the soaring tower's uppermost beams were riveted into place, a quarter of a mile in the sky, despite howling north winds, freezing rain, and blinding fog. At exactly 5:42 p.m. on the afternoon of March 18, 1931, the completed mooring mast was topped off. A few weeks later, the last of the interior finishing work was complete. In the end, John Jacob Raskob and Al Smith had triumphed, conjuring from the dwindling oxygen of the extraordinary decade the tallest building in the world, a distinction it would proudly hold for more than 40 years. And despite other taller structures to come, never seemed to lose. In all, 6 men had died during the construction of the Empire State Building. 2 laborers, an iron worker, and 3 carpenters. 57,000 tons of structural steel, almost 3 times the total used in the Chrysler Building, had been hoisted into place, not only higher, but faster than anyone had ever dreamed possible. From start to finish, from the commencement of work on the foundations to the last piece of interior work on the gleaming marble lobby, it had taken the heroic team of engineers and workmen just 13 months to erect the tallest building in the world. One of the greatest feats of construction since buildings began.
You're talking about from the time that the steel started, which is generally the benchmark that we give these buildings in terms of its actual construction. You're talking about 13 or 14 months working through the winter. And that winter was pretty severe. The winter of 30 into 31 was pretty severe. It was an absolutely amazing construction timetable. But the people that have come after them, me and others, who practice at the art of building, use that building as an example of whether the building was a financial success or not, whether the building is handsome or not. That building was certainly, from a building art, a triumph in every way, in every possible way. Something to study, something to look at, something to teach, not to be afraid of innovation.
Opening day, May 1st, 1931, dawned bright and clear.
We are about to officially open the Empire State Building, the largest and most beautiful office building in the world.
Al Smith, the building's official greeter, presided over the gala event, held on the brand new observation deck on the 86th floor, attended by John Jacob Raskob, Mayor Jimmy Walker, and Governor Franklin D. Roosevelt.
In the world today that can be reached from a building designed, fashioned, built by the brains, the brawn, the ingenuity, and the muscle of mankind.
I am very happy to take part in this very auspicious occasion with my old friend, Governor Smith. When I came up in the elevator, I went so high that I expected to get above snow level.
That evening, as a brilliantly clear twilight descended on New York, President Herbert Hoover turned a key in the White House, and the great building was illuminated for the first time.